Shooters Connection offers products for competition shooters by competition shooters. With over 80 years of combined competition shooting experience, Shooters Connection is staffed by master and grandmaster shooters who live the shooting sports every day. We offer same-day shipping. Shooters Connection also sponsors over 100 of your matches every single year. So when it comes to finding everything you need to compete as a beginner or a seasoned grandmaster, Shooters Connection is the only name you need to know. Online at shootersconnectionstore.com.
All right, Jeremy, take it away.
What's up, everybody? This is the Hit Factor podcast. Back after a long hiatus. We are still here. We are still around. Mr. Jeffrey Cawthon and myself, Jeremy Reid. It has been since October, I think. Well, that's not true. We were taken over by the Discord minions. They took over a podcast for us and recorded one. So it is good to be back. There has been a lot going on in USPSA since we last recorded. And normally this is the time of year where everything's nice and slow. Like there's just not a whole lot going on. But that has not been the case this year. And so we will talk about that some tonight. I don't know if we will even remember everything that has happened, but we will try to address some of that. And then we have Western States coming up, Western States Single Stack Classic coming up very soon after this comes out. So we'll talk about that a little bit tonight as well. But all that being said, it is actually, I shouldn't even say this. Before I say that, check it out. We have Hit Factor podcast stickers. If you guys are on the video, you can see them. They actually turned out really good. So I'll have those. If you want them, $1 for them. If I got to ship it, $1.50, and I'll ship them that way. So they're cool.
Nice.
Jeff's gonna have to pay $5 per. He don't even get a free one.
I don't even know. I'm good. I have a hat.
So anyway, I hate to say this, but I've actually somewhat missed talking like with Jeff. We've chatted back and forth, just in like Facebook Messenger. Like he'll send me a video of his kid making up some sort of song spiel story thing about the hero who failed?
Oh yeah, the hero who made a choice. Yeah.
Oh, the hero who made a choice. Yeah. And I have.
Yeah, she's very creative in that. Like she knew, like that story before she started the video. Which obviously you couldn't really tell there was a storyline there, but she was like, she came to me. She was like, I want you to set the camera up. I got to record this story. The hero who made a choice. I was like, oh, okay. So I set the tripod up, set it, and for 5 minutes she went to town.
It was epic. It was epic. My kid is just imitating Power Ranger, all sorts of stuff. And just so you guys know, the greatest comeback that you can, like if somebody screws up on a stage or something like that and you want to give them a bunch of crap, the best thing you can possibly tell them is, and you have to do it in a straight face, you have to say, have fun sleeping with the fishies. Like that's just right. I think that's like the greatest put down that you can possibly give somebody. So
there's levels to that.
There are levels to that. And then Jeff and I've been just giving each other crap and sending. Jeff goes to weird places on the internet. That's all I know, and I can't match that. I try sometimes, but I cannot match the places that he goes on the internet.
Yeah, I've been helping tune up Jeremy's social media algorithm, so he's getting a little taste of my internet.
I'm afraid of what's going to be popping up in the next few weeks on that. So what else have you been up to, Jeff? How's the Raccoon Crack Shack going?
Man, it's getting so close to being done. Yeah,
When
I
can
just
people
finished.
VRBO it?
I don't know. I still have to like furnish everything, and honestly, like if financially I can afford to not VRBO it and just use it, then they can't, because I won't.
Oh, see, being selfish. But all the
Yeah.
money, like this, you could like equal your Discord money if you VRBO'd it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Um, but it's getting real close. Like all the floor and trim and countertops and cabinets and all the plumbing and everything, it's all done. So I just got a bunch of small stuff left to do, and that's what I've been doing for like every single weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't work Fridays um, at my day job, so I'll like drop the kiddo off at school, and then I drive 2 hours to Eufaula, and I usually stay there at least one night. So I just work, and then my buddy has a cabin up there, so I'll work all day, stay there, get up, work all day, and then come home. So do that pretty much every single weekend that I can.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to feel pretty awesome being close to getting it finished.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was talking to my dad the other night, and I was like, I am just really ready to have like some things off my plate that
Yeah.
I like don't need to stress about and think about anymore. Yeah, that's my goal right now. Just get things off my plate.
I love it.
Yeah. And yourself, Jeremy?
I've just been like working, just lots of hours in the shop trying to pump out as many guns. I actually have a Springfield build. It was a gun I won at nationals a long time ago, and it was sitting in my safe. I was like, I'm gonna build this, so I built it. And so it's if somebody wants a Springfield 45, at least as of while we're recording it, I have one available. If somebody wants one, and then I've got a 1911 build class that's coming up this spring. It is full, but it is coming up this spring, and so I have a ton of work before I have 6 students and another instructor, maybe 2 other people coming into my shop and being in my shop and hanging out. I have a ton of work to get it ready for that, and so I've
Hmm.
I'm trying to work on getting everything organized in the shop and get everything ready for that. I've got to build workbenches and just lots of stuff. So improve lighting in the shop, improve cleaning it, just better organization. And it's a lot of work. So I'm kind of like Jeff in that I have this deadline that I got to get this stuff done. And yeah, it's every waking hour that I can afford to not be doing other stuff. I'm trying to do
Yeah.
that stuff. And
Yeah.
look, I'm not like suffering over here. I just got back from a ski trip. The wife and I had our first like weekend with no kids since we've had
Wow.
kids, and we have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. So
What?
this is like the first time that we've had like a getaway weekend. So that was cool. We went up to Crested Butte. They had great snow, which was we hit that well. So we were able to ski for a couple days. And the wife, this was the first time she skied more black runs than anything else on this trip. So she's starting to kind of up her
Mm,
skiing game, which is great
nice.
because we can maybe ski together a little bit more. Typically, we kind of just we see each other
Yeah.
start of the day and see each other at lunch. But she's trying to up her game a little bit, which is good.
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
yeah, and then honestly, since the end of like since IPSC Nationals ended, I really didn't want to like stop shooting. Like I put the gun down for a couple of weeks, and I was somewhat motivated to like like I wanted to dry fire. I wanted to do that stuff, and I just didn't have time. Like I was just working. I was just working, and I struggled to make myself stop working in the shop long enough because where I dry fire is where I work. And so I was like,
Hmm.
okay, I can keep working for another 30 minutes or I can turn the clock off and dry fire. So I didn't do as much as I would have probably liked to, but I've been dry firing a little bit here the last little while. Not super consistent, but getting some dry fire in. So that's good. I'm looking. Here's how we're gonna get into all of the everything that's been going on with USPSA. I think I was looking
Mm-hmm.
forward to this season more than any season, maybe in the last like 4 years, maybe
Mm-hmm.
since COVID year. So I guess that was 2020 is when
Yeah.
COVID was. I was kind of looking forward to that season. And I was really looking forward to this season. And then the board went and did what the board did, and they kind of. I think everybody's somewhat feeling it a little bit, like they've kind of they've
Oh yeah.
dampened that enthusiasm a little bit, and that's to me
Mm-hmm.
what is the huge biggest shame. So if you guys are not paying attention, and I don't, if you pay attention at all to USPSA, I don't know how you would not know what's going on. But if we can do just a really quick recap of what I remember happening. First, in December, at some point in December, well, even before this, Yeeman ends up as he was not eligible president and he was elected as president, and they changed some stuff so that he could serve as president, but he cannot be an RO, which is weird justification in and of itself, and that's all pretty strange. And then in
Mm-hmm.
December, they kicked Scott Arnbark, Area 3 director. They kicked him off of the board uh, because of their justification was that he shared confidential information that he was not supposed to share.
Mm.
Now, that might, like, from what I have heard from other people, is that just because you share an email that was off of, like, it was USPSA's email, it wasn't actually confidential information that was in the email that was shared. So just because
Mm.
like you can't just make anything be confidential. Uh, but it also was, this was before Area 6 had been removed. Oh, yeah. And Area 6, we have a new Area 6 director. Ben Berry was elected as that. But this is before he started. And he was saying that Scott was sharing confidential information, which had already been, prior to that, had already been shared publicly, best I can tell. And that's my knowledge of that. So they kicked him off. And the ramifications of that is everybody was quite pissed.
Yes.
I mean,
Everybody's
like,
pissed.
the outrage was pretty high. Scott was one of the good guys on the board. He was very much calling for financial accountability and financial transparency, as I understand, his background is all in finance, and so he was calling for that. And the legacy board, I guess, as we're calling them now, did not like that. They didn't want that to happen, and so he had to go. So they made him gone. And so then it was a ton of Area 3 clubs and even whole sections declared that they would not submit any scores to USPSA or any money to USPSA. And so they're either running hit factor matches or they're running USPSA matches where they just withhold the cash. I think most of them are just running hit factor matches um, instead of that. And so that was pretty crazy. And there were tons of clubs that were doing that, right?
Yeah.
Well, then you fast forward another month, and all of a sudden they live stream the first board meeting that they live streamed, which Leighton was a huge proponent of. He wanted it because he thought the live stream was going to offer a lot of clarity to the members as far as what was actually going on in the board meetings, and how all of the howler monkeys and elitist GMs were really just misportraying how poorly everything was run. Well,
Yeah.
when this was live streamed, that didn't work out quite like I think Leighton wanted it to,
Yeah.
as it was just a huge cluster. But what happened in that meeting is that they then kicked out Frank Rizzi, who was the Area 7 director, who was also very much calling for transparency, financial accountability, all of the stuff that the board needs to be handling and addressing. And in that meeting, they kicked him off of the board because they, in their bylaw change a few years ago, I'm sorry if this is confusing, but it is like it is somewhat confusing. In their bylaw change a few years ago, they made it such that in order to be an area director, in order to run for area director, you have to have had been a USPSA member for the past 3 years. Well, within that, they did some digging, and apparently there was whenever Frank ran, he had like a 3-day lapse, or like it was a small lapse in his when his yearly membership expired to whenever it was renewed. And obviously he had a lifetime membership by the time he went in as area director. And so the board was like, well, the bylaws are the bylaws, and it says we have to do this, so we don't want to do this. This isn't what we want, but we have to follow the bylaws because that's just what it says. So I'm sorry, Frank, you're going to have to go. And so they kicked him off. Well, if the board thought people were mad whenever they kicked Scott out, holy crap. I mean, the lids blew off and everybody went ballistic. And I was even, it was the first time that I've ever considered reducing my participation in USPSA. It was at a point where it was like, man, like I like they're generally going to ruin it. Like they've already screwed it up, but it was at a point, it was like, man, they are simply going to completely ruin it. And so the outcries were pretty nuts. Sponsors were pulling out. You had, at this point, then you had a massive number. I don't know if it was a massive. You had a large number of level 2 matches, either downgrading to level 1 matches, or just downgrading it and not shooting USPSA matches at all. Like I said, sponsors made public statements. We will not sponsor any more nationals. We won't sponsor any more matches with USPSA with the current leadership if they don't get things straightened out.
Yeah. And we had like match directors making announcements that their majors that they were putting on weren't going to be they were going to be hit factor matches. They weren't going to be USPSA sectionals or USPSA related matches. So they were taking a stand against them as well.
Yeah. And one thing I failed to mention, I'm sorry. There's a lot that went on. Area 1 director, Bruce Gary. I'm sorry, I get Bruce Gray and Bruce Gary very confused. I get their names mixed up because they're very similar, but they're also of a very similar persuasion, and that's another thing that has happened recently. But Bruce Gray, he resigned as Area 1 director.
Mm-hmm.
And so then after they kicked out Frank, everybody's going nuts. It comes out, we find out publicly that the board they have reinstated Bruce Gray as Area 1 director, and they had reinstated Sherwin Greenfield as the Area 3 director.
Oh my gosh.
And so we were just completely, like, almost 100% back to the board that we had a long time ago.
Oh, and also Area 4, Mel resigned.
So this is,
right?
so this is then the following day. So 2 days after the first live stream, that board meeting was technically not finished. So they resumed it 2 days later on a new live stream. And here's how this went. So the outcry against Mel was so great that he couldn't take it anymore. He just like he first early part in the live stream, he's like, guys, I'm out. I'm done. I can't take this. And he resigned. So Area 4, we do not have an area director at this point. Sherwin Greenfield, I know it. He heard enough crap that he was like, you know what? I don't want to actually do this. I don't want to be in the middle of this anymore. So he decided he was not going to fill the Area 3 position. And at some point, Area 1, Bruce Gray also decided, no, I'm not going to fill that position either. And then Ben Berry, man, Ben Berry has, look, I don't agree with Ben Berry on everything that he wants to do and all this stuff. And that's perfectly fine. I'll never find anybody that I agree with them on everything. But man, he came in and he was ready. He had, he's been studying Robert's Rules of Orders, which the board had no idea how to follow that sort of stuff. So he was following all of that. He was bringing up the bylaws, and they got Frank back on the board and said, like, guys, like, you are opening us up to lawsuit, and you're opening up the organization to lawsuits, and what you're doing is not legal, even though Attorney Jim was telling them, oh yeah, this is all great. So 2 days later, Frank is back on the board. I don't know if you guys have followed all this, but Frank is back on the board, and he is there. We still do not have an Area 3 director. We still do not have an Area 1 director, and we now do not have an Area 4 director. Okay, so that's where that's at. We're not done yet. So in the middle of all this, the board had a meeting, another meeting, and they made the decision that, you know what, we're not going to address all of the financial issues. We're not going to address all these other issues. We need to talk about production mag limits. That's something that we really need to get straightened out and fixed. And so they changed production from a 10-round division to a 15-round division. And I assume that that's just going to, the participation in production now is just going to explode. And it's probably going to be the most popular division next year, I would assume, especially at the local level.
They fixed it once again. Production will be king.
Yes. Production will be king. Okay, that's not all. There's a couple more things that have happened, and I'm going to try to get this in the correct order. They announced all the nationals, so we have all the nationals. But what was really cool is that they sent slots out for Carry Optics Nationals, which is its standalone nationals in June or July, middle of the summer. And with that, they sent out an email, and there was a bit of a change in nationals. Last year, if I remember correctly, they increased the price to $350. If I remember right, the year before it was $285 or $295. Within a couple years, it was, if you go back a couple years before that last year, it was like $285, $295, as best I remember. So they had increased it to $350 last year. Well, this year they decided to increase it another $50. So it's now $400 for an entry fee. And the cool thing about that is they sent out an email, and unfortunately I don't have it in front of me to read it. I'm sorry, I should have. But along with they said, hey, yes, we are increasing our match fee to help cover costs. But along with that, we are implementing a lot of cost saving measures so that we can keep making this a lot more viable. Now, so that's fascinating because they're telling you, hey, we're going to charge you guys a whole lot more than we have been charging you. We're going to charge you guys quite a lot more. This is a 20% increase over the last 2 years. No, it's more than that. Sorry, I'm not getting my math right. It's about a 30% increase over the last 2 years. And we're going to have all these cost saving, but we're also cutting a lot of costs. So it's not going to cost us near as much. So even though we're charging you a whole lot more, we're going to save a whole lot of money on this cost saving measures. But there is nothing in the minutes. There is nothing in a recent board meeting, anything like that, and they have not presented anything to the organization or the members how they are going to cut cost. So it seems a little far fetched that we should believe that they are actually cutting cost when there's no evidence of them discussing that or telling anybody, here's how we are going to cut cost for this match.
Is this going to be a throwback to, what was it, 2020, when when they ran out of food so early, like halfway through awards?
Yes,
It
that
was
was.
like, oh look, there's no more food.
Yes, that may be one of the cost cutting measures. They've spent too much on food the last couple of years, and so yeah, that's how they're gonna cut back on it. Is less food or no food? Maybe just don't have a banquet. We could just cut that banquet out. That would save us some money.
That would be pretty interesting, to charge people $400 for a match fee and not do a banquet. That would be nuts, dude. That would be ballsy.
So here's the fascinating thing with this: a world shoot is $500.
Yeah.
That's what it costs for an entry fee for the world shoot. The world shoot, there's 6 days of shooting. There is an opening ceremony the day before that. There's shoot offs and a closing ceremony the day after that. We're not getting anywhere near. You do not reset. Like, it is all staff reset on all of those stages. The competitors do not reset anything. We're not getting any of that. Like, we're getting real close to that cost, that price, and yet none of that stuff is happening here. So, I think they're going to have to. It's going to be their matches, if they want to charge that much money. Look, if they want to charge $400, that's fine. But you should know, like, people's expectations for the match is going up to match that. Like, they don't just expect to pay another $400 to have it be a crappier match because you're of cost saving measures that you're trying to implement. Okay, and then one last thing that I remember. This has been it's just a whirlwind, and then we're gonna get Jeff's feelings after this because I can stop talking then. The last thing that has happened is they filed for I believe it was a trademark on the phrase "hit factor," which was really kind
of. Didn't this happen like they didn't do it as an org? It was like somebody within the org did it.
Yes. So this comes out. Practical Shooting Insights. Derek came out with this. That was how I learned of it. I don't know if that was how it first became public, but that was how I learned of it, was through there. And so, yeah, it came out, and then on our Discord, like, Ben Barry is on our Discord. Frank Rizzi's on that, and people are like kind of like asking, like, hey, like, where did this come from? And Ben, who is area director, he says, I'm reading this for the first time this morning, and the first I learned of it was on Practical Shooting Insights as well. So there's a bit of a problem in that you have an area director, a board member, who has no idea that this happened, and Frank did not know that any of this happened. And so, yeah, it has been discovered that this was done by employees of the org without the consent of the board. Meaning, I don't know who, like, if it was one of these or if it was a conglomerate of all of these, but Donna, Jake, Troy were apparently the ones, and I think maybe Attorney Jim was involved. This is a bit of speculation, so I want to at least put that out there. There's some speculation with this, but that they were the ones that did it. It certainly was not at the request or direction of the board. And so, yeah, they filed a trademark on Hit Factor, basically, that was going to state that you could not use Hit Factor to like promote any of your matches or anything like that. I don't know if like I guess we would have maybe had to change the name of our podcast if they wanted to come after us and sue us for that. I don't know how they were planning on defending this trademark, because a trademark is only as good as you defending it. Like if you file for a trademark but you never defend it, then your filing is, this is how I understand it, your filing doesn't really mean anything. And I don't know how they could have even like hit they there's no way they could have actually gotten away with the filing. And apparently it was dropped a few days later as like, okay, yeah, this isn't an actual thing. The interesting thing was that it was out there for enough time that everybody else got even more pissed. I mean, like people were already pissed. Everybody got even more pissed, to the point that Ken Nelson, who was the owner of Practice Score, because he has the option in Practice Score of you can run an IPSC match, you can run a USPSA match, or you can just run a Hit Factor match. And that's just like the options that he has. And so everybody was like, well, people are going to come after, like, you won't even be able to use Practice Score because it says Hit Factor in that. That's your only option for it. And Ken's like, and Ken has been a supporter of the board and of the org and that sort of stuff. And he came, I was like, guys, like, look, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely absurd. If this goes through, I'll change it. I'll do points per second or something. Like we'll put something different in Practice Score such that this is not an issue. And basically, why can't the board stop making stupid decisions? Is how I read what he put out. And so yeah, people were even more pissed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's what's been going on. That is the quickest, most thorough recap. That may have been boring, but some people you guys haven't been paying a whole lot of attention. That's kind of what has been going on, as best I can tell. So Jeff, you've been working on your shop. You haven't been super active on the Discord throughout all of this. Your fans have been missing you, for sure. Yeah. But what has been your reaction to all this?
I mean, it's definitely made me just not want to go back. I'm like, you know, it would be nice. I'd be like, I could finish this cabin and then I could just not do the shooting thing. And I would like have so much free time and I just wouldn't care about these stupid people bickering and trying to, you know, just have this power grab or whatever they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. They're just idiots. Right. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, for sure, it was like, man, this off season, like, it's been nice just not having to worry about any of that stuff. And they are really making me just not want to go back. My membership lapses next month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, there's some real feelings about just like not doing that.
Yeah.
It seems just absolutely absurd. But I don't know. I don't really know what I'm gonna do, but there's definitely feelings of like I don't want to go and be a part of that bullshit.
Yeah. And I think that is a very shared feeling.
Yeah, and I get it. Like, don't give it away, or like not participating is not how we fix the org and all that. Like, I really do get that, but I just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's like y'all fix it. That's fine. I'm gonna go enjoy my life and not mess with these idiots. So that's kind of how I've been feeling about it. That's not to say I'm not gonna be back shooting or whatever. You know, I don't really know. I'm going to shoot Western States.
Oh, it's gonna be busting, man.
Yeah. So I'll be there, and as of right now, I'm planning to shoot the matches I'm signed up for. So I'm signed up for IPSC Nationals in April, and I'm signed up for Leif's match. What's that? When is that? June? Is it in June?
Yeah. Yep. June.
Yeah. So I'm signed up for matches, so I guess I'll renew my membership. Uh, but I'm indifferent as to whether I really want to. Yeah. I don't feel any um need to be a part of saving the organization.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't feel that. I feel like I've contributed quite a bit to the sport as a whole over the years, doing the
Mm-hmm.
podcast and all the promoting of sportsmanship and stuff that we've done. So I feel no obligation to do anything further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I 100% get that. Uh, and I think that's real for a lot of people. Like I think there are a ton of people that feel that exact same way. And to me, like that's what's like so to me damaging about the Laytons, the Bruce Garys of the world. That like they are making people not want to compete. Like they're making people not want to shoot. Like they're driving people away from the sport. And people are talking about, hey, let's just build a new sport. Let's just do something new. Let's go shoot PCSL or whatever. And I'm sorry, but USPSA is a better sport. Like the bones of USPSA, it's better. Uh, like PCSL, like it looks fine. Like it looks okay. Like I guess if that was my only option, I would shoot it, but it's just not as good. I and that's just my personal feeling. And so it it pisses me off. Like it just makes me really mad that we have stupid people that whatever it's pride, it's arrogance, it's a power trip. I don't understand. I really just I can't understand being a Russell Fortney, being a Leighton Oosthuizen, and just like being think you're just so right, and everybody that you have just pissed off so much that no, we're still just going to do this how I want to do it. We're going to make this my sport, and everybody
Yeah.
else, this isn't the member sport. This is my sport, and we're going to make it how I want it to be. And that's all the decisions that they've made. They've made them such that I want to make it my sport. And I don't know how you even just stay in the position. I don't know how you don't resign. Like you are driving people away. You are clearly damaging the sport. You're clearly dividing the sport. Like it's just you're incredibly divisive. And I don't even know. I don't know how you can. I don't know how you show up to matches. Like I don't know how you show up to matches and hold your head high. Uh, I do not understand how you even stick around after you've just blown the sport apart and just done all the damage that you've done. So yeah, I very much understand that. At the same
Yeah.
time, at the same time, man, like I don't want those stupid fuddy duddies, if I can say it that way. I'm gonna get railed for that. I shouldn't have said that. Oh man, people are gonna make fun of me. Fitz, keep your mouth shut, Fitz. I don't want to hear from you. But you know what? Like I have so many friends in the sport, and the sport. I still love the sport. I still love competing. I still love training and all of that. And I don't want some idiot like Leighton to be the one who controls what I do for fun. I don't want like so. If, I mean, like Area 3 last year was in freaking Grand Island, Nebraska. It sucked. I mean, Grand Island is Grand Island. It's not exactly a destination place in the world. But dude, that match was a ton of fun, right? Like the barndominium that we had, like all the guys that we had there, the road trip there, all that sort of stuff, nationals. Again, with all of that, like it was a ton of fun. And I have some of the best friends that I have, like I have made through this sport, and I've developed those relationships through the sport. and screw Leighton. Like, I'm not going to give him the control to say, hey, like, you're gonna lose all these friends. You're gonna stop seeing them, stop hanging out, and I'm gonna make sure that happens if I'm Leighton, and say, like, screw Leighton. Like, if I want to go shoot a match and hang out with friends and try to compete against the best shooters in the country, like, then I'm gonna do that. And I don't care about those people. Like, screw them. Um, that's somewhat my thought. Again, I totally understand the people that are like, I just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Too. So the good thing is, Area 2 is up for re-election this year, and as I know it, as I've heard at least, Leighton is not running. I don't
Mhm.
think it matters. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't win. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he would not win.
That'd be something if he did.
But Area 2 is going to turn over. Obviously, Area 4 is turning over. Who knows who's going to win that? Area 5 is turning over. Just on Area 2 and Area 5 are just normal elections. And then at some point, they're going to have to fill Area 3 and Area 1 and Area 4. I don't know how they're going to do that or when they're going to do that. In Area 3, this is another thing that happened. All the section coordinators, which is how it's supposed to be done, they are supposed to nominate somebody, and they nominated Luke Faust. I think that's how you say his last name.
Mm-hmm.
Who was in the election with Scott Arnberg, and basically the two of them were going to go to a runoff election, and they said, hey, we don't want to cost the org more money. I think they flipped a coin, and Scott won that, so Scott became the Area 3 director, and Luke said, okay, yeah, that's fine. And so the section coordinators nominated Luke Faust, and the board did not approve that nomination. So I don't know how that spot's going to get filled, but we are, again, we have three. We don't have three people on the board. So if you're in Area 4, Area 3, or Area 1, you are currently unrepresented on the board of directors. So you should be a little upset about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Wow, that was a really long recap.
man, Potato. I don't know if I said it first or Potato said it first. I'll give Potato credit because it's smart, sounds smart. But if the board would just stop meeting, right? Like if they would just stop meeting altogether and just did nothing, they would, like, it would be so much better.
Yeah, like there, here's what's crazy is the board is made of old men who don't really get it, but if they would just stop, just stop. People have such short memories, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people would forget and it would all go back to sunshine and roses so fast. If they would just stop. That's all they gotta do.
Yep.
But they can't. They can't do it.
Just freaking stop, and yeah, people's anger and fury would dissipate. It would take, at this point, it's revved up so much in the last couple months. It would take a while for it to dissipate, but it would. Like it would slowly but surely. It would dissipate.
Yeah. Like there would still be this kind of cloud hanging over like the reputation of the board, right? But the activism would disappear so fast.
Yep.
The memeing and it would disappear so fast.
Yeah. I agree 100%, and they're not smart enough to figure that out. I'll say this: when the day after they kicked Frank off, it looked absolutely bleak. Like there is no way forward. Like at that point, I was like, it doesn't matter who we elect; they're just going to remove him. Like it was just like, this is just completely bleak. There is no way forward. If Ben Barry had not been the Area 6 director, like if I can't remember who was it. I can't remember who he was running against. If it had been him, or if it had been who was the Area 6 director before that. Bruce, oh crap. I've already forgotten him, which is good. The former Area 6 director, if he had still been the director when all of this when they kicked Frank off, I do think the sport would be it would be in just complete. It would be over. Like I think I would have been. I don't know. I would have been very more where you're at this point. I would have been like, okay, I'll shoot Western states, and then I'm probably done. Um,
Yeah.
Ben Barry, coming in and somewhat straightening things out a little bit, and then getting Frank back on. It was like, okay, like this was a small step back of maybe there's still hope, and maybe we can still get this. But man,
Mm-hmm.
all I can say is Russell Fortney just won an election for Area 8. So people like that, and he's right along Layton trying to destroy the sport, doing everything he can to make stupid decisions and just throw it down the drain, and he just got elected. So one, like if we can get some good people running for area director, I think if like Leif Kunkel, who's running for Area 5 director, absolute home run. Like I can't think of a better person to have as an area director. And there may be, I don't know, Practical Shooting Insights seems to have it out for Lath, and I just cannot understand that. Like it blows my mind. I don't understand what he has against Lath. But he's like, Derek's dead wrong in that in that position that he has there. But like elect Leif. Like if we want to see things be better, elect Leif. Like let's elect good people, and we need good people to run. So Bill Godbold, Area 4, like I'm talking to you. Like I know you said you're on the fence about whether you're going to run or not. We need you to run, buddy. Like Bill Godbold needs to run, and Area 4 people, you need to elect Bill Godbold if he does. There's some other names out there that I've heard, and heaven help us, they're not going to be any freaking better. Like, so let's elect good people, and let's stop electing these stupid people these positions that just have zero foresight, and they can only look at one thing in front of them and have no idea, like looking down the road as far as other ramifications for it. So like if we're going to make this a sport that's better, like it can be, like it's not totally lost, but let's start electing good people. Let's freaking can Jake, let's can Troy, and let's can Donna. There's what, $400,000-$500,000 right there that we can save. Uh, just get rid of them, like plain and simple. Like let's get rid of them. We can contract whatever labor they're doing. Donna showed herself to be absolutely incompetent in the live stream. I mean, just 100% incompetent. And we've been down this road with Kim Williams before. It's nothing new. So I would be perfectly fine with paying a managing director 6 figures, like to do it, if they were worth it. Donna has proven she's not worth it. Like, let's get rid of her. Like, she doesn't need to be there. And yeah, sorry, I got kind of fired up there and went on a bit of a rant. I don't know how to not get fired up. I haven't been in this sport for 40 years like Bruce Gray out there. That's another one that I could get fired up about. But like, I haven't been in it that long, but I've been in it long enough. I don't know if I'm going on 12 years or something like that at this point. Like, I am very, very invested in this sport. Like, I have somewhat centered my life where I live, like where I built a house around this sport and competing and being active in it. And man, it just sucks to have stupid people running it. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got anything else to add on that topic, Jeff? I don't know what else to say other than I want the stupidity to end.
Yeah. No, I don't. I don't really. I've just been kind of ignoring it from afar. Like you said, I haven't been super active on like any front. I send you stupid videos and memes to stay in contact. Other than that, yeah, I haven't been involved in the space much at all the last couple months.
Yeah. Uh, and look, I will say this. There are people that are lots of people that are saying quit sending USPSA money. Don't renew your membership. Don't do any of that. Like they're very much saying that, and like you're just contributing to them. If if you have any interest, if you just want the sport to blow up, one, if you want the sport to blow up and go away, screw you. Like leave, go away. Like if that's your motivation that you want the sport to blow up, then just go away. Like why would you have that motivation in your life? I don't understand that. The sport is great. The sport needs to stick around. And so if you're just trying to blow it up, then get out of here. Like nobody wants you. Um, but if you want the sport to succeed, at least renew your membership and at least be available to vote. Like I understand that it feels like that's pointless, but that's all you got. Like that is our only chance to save the sport and to get it better is to vote in better people. And I get it. Like it seems like the board's just going to remove them, but that's the only option that I see. So yeah,
Hmm.
I would very much encourage you to renew your membership. I am in favor of these matches and match directors holding hit factor matches and saying, hey, USPSA, change your ways, or we're not sending you any of our uh, activity fees. We're not going to send it until you basically put our elected officials back in and stop doing stupid stuff. And what I've heard, like USPSA has taken a huge hit on a cash flow front from all these matches that are just running hit factor matches now. So look, I'm perfectly fine with that. I think that's a good idea because that is the way that you can make your voice heard as well, more quickly than just through an election. But but man, please stay like if you want the sport to succeed and you want the sport to still be around in the future, then don't just totally give it up and not renew your membership and then never have to vote because then freaking Leighton wins. Like like he at that point he's won. If everybody that disagrees with him just leaves, then he wins, and I hate that personally.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I went on a rant. I got fired up. I couldn't help it.
I mean, it's obviously, Jeremy, that you care a great deal about the sport. You've made it very clear, and people are lucky to have you
That's a bit of a stretch.
to lead the charge, to call to action.
Oh gosh, that's
Man,
way more of a stretch. And I'll be completely honest. I hate even talking about this stuff. Like this stuff just drives me absolutely nuts. I would rather be talking about training or uh, the career. We've had a few matches for the year start with. I'd rather be talking about match results and stuff like that.
mhm.
And we have to talk about this other stupid stuff, and that's partly why. Like we haven't even recorded through all this because, quite frankly, I don't want to have to talk about this. Like I hate talking about I hate the drama stuff. Some people live on it and they love it. I hate it. I freaking hate it.
Yeah, yeah. It's I don't enjoy talking about it. I don't enjoy that it exists. The the drama and the bullshit politics of it. Which I mean, I don't really think that fully ever goes away. Like
No,
there's always going to be politics in organizations, but man, we could be a little better, I think.
yeah, I think there could be some more level-headed people. I don't think you even have to get everybody that agrees. They could just be more level-headed and just be smarter in how they make decisions. All right, we've talked drama enough. Western States is coming up. Single stack.
Yeah. When this drops, we'll be 1 week away.
Yeah. So you ready? You ready for it? You tuned up?
Yeah.
You
I'm
gonna
totally
win?
ready. Yeah. I'm gonna win. Watch your ass, Nils. I'm coming.
This is what's great about this match is basically everybody's in this position that nobody's tuned up unless you live in Arizona or you've been visiting Arizona or something like that. And everybody bust out their single stack to shoot it, obviously. And we just get together and shoot, and usually everybody has to laugh at somebody. Everybody gets laughed at some point, pretty much, is kind of
I mean, that's
how
good.
that goes.
I would actually enjoy that. Like, that's the only type of match I want to shoot right now.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I mean, I have not shot a gun since Florida, since IPSC
Okay.
Pants.
Yeah.
I've not shot a single bullet. And I stopped dry firing. I don't know, probably 6 weeks ago or something like that.
I was gonna say, I thought like you were dry firing pretty hard through the end of last year, like through the end of December, pretty much.
Yeah, I was. I can't remember. I got sick, or I decided I want to use the extra time to lift weights or something like that. But eventually, I just stopped.
Yeah.
So full blown off season. Yeah. So just a bunch of cabin work. That's all I've been doing.
It's going to be good. So what's important about this is you and Potato have a bet for this match.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true. So if Potato finishes within, is it 8% of the overall standings of you?
It depends on who you ask, but yes, that was the agreement.
What is the other side of it?
10%.
Oh, okay. So he's saying 10%. And that's not picking y'all scores out of the overalls. So if you're 92.5% of nils, then he needs to be 84.6% of nils.
Yeah.
If nils is the one that wins.
Yeah.
Or if I win, you never know.
You never know. That could be the day, Jeremy.
It could be.
It could be the day.
It could be the day. I think it might be.
You could end the losing streak.
I think this is going to be my year. It's the year that USPSA implodes, and it's going to be the year that I really turn everything on.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, like West States is going to be fun. Are you going to try to shoot at all? Like, are you going to try to at least have one like live fire practice session?
That's a great question.
Do you know how your gun shoots at 50 yards?
It shoots all right.
Okay.
I am really worried about like showing up with stuff that works.
Well, it worked at IPSC.
Yeah,
Well, nothing's changed.
Yeah, it has. What did I change? I think I put a different thumb safety on my gun.
Oh, well.
And I changed rear sights.
So you need to at least go sighted in.
Yeah, probably. And yeah. I don't have any bullets loaded.
You a gun?
And everybody's talking about these Fiocchi primers like not working. Like they're getting bad batches of them.
Yeah.
And that's like the majority of what I have. So
I had in the past I have shot a crap ton of Fiocchi primers, and
Mm-hmm.
had other friends that shot a crap ton of them, zero issues with them, and so then I finally here just in the past few months I've restocked on Fiocchi primers. They've become available again,
Yeah.
and I was able to get decent prices on them at dealer prices and stuff. And I have 50,000 Fiocchi
Mm-hmm.
primers of new ones, and yeah, it sounds like there are some issues. I still have like 5,000 Winchester primers, so I can at least load match ammo with that. But yeah, I'm going to be doing some testing. I just got some new Vitavari N320 powder for
Damn.
that I'll load for matches. I still have a crap ton of other of promo. I probably got close to like 40, 50 pounds of promo that I can
Yeah,
use for practice ammo.
that's the other thing. Like, I have not bought any powder,
Yeah.
so I'll be shooting freaking tight group.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to load. Jeff's gonna have to send me your overall length that you want, and I'm gonna have to load Jeff some ammo.
I bought some CCI primers off a guy at work the other day.
Oh yeah,
So I've got like 3,000 of those, but like they look pretty dated. Like, I don't know how long they've been sitting in somebody's garage or something.
I bet they'll be fine. I'd be pretty shocked if they were, unless they were like in water. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's not that. It's not that wet.
Okay.
Y'all aren't like you're not like Gulf Coast or Florida or something like that.
Yeah.
So those will be fine.
So anyway, I'm a little worried about like getting bullets loaded and things working, but we're just gonna show up and send it, man. At least I won't have any expectations, which like for me, that's a huge advantage. Like if there's no expectations, I tend to
Yeah.
do really, really well.
Yeah.
So the only downfall will be that I'll be so out of practice. It's like just the gun handling. Like gun handling alone is going to be pretty bad.
That's when you forgo the scoop draw. You kind of go to your whatever your safety
Right.
draw is.
It's like a 2-second snatch draw.
Yeah, you don't try to draw the gun fast ever, and yeah, you just try to execute the fundamentals as best you can.
You don't think I could tune up my reloads and draw like at the Airbnb that morning?
You could probably get it. You could probably get it. Okay.
If I did
Yeah.
like, 50 reps or something like that.
Yeah, that should be.
Surely.
Why would you? Why at that point? Why would you even do the 50 reps? I don't know. I don't even know why you do that.
I would do the 50 reps so that I wouldn't be throwing magazines across the bay.
You'll still be throwing. You'll still be throwing some.
Yeah. That would be the only reason why. It's just like so I could actually put a magazine in the gun.
Yeah.
And hope that I can pull the gun out and put it in front of my eyes. I worry about that too, dude. Like I really worry about pulling the gun up and it being just like way off.
So last year, our first stage of the match was the Schmidt standards, and I shot 6 rounds at 50 yards, or the first rounds I shot out of my gun at that match. So
how was that? Like, what was the outcome of that?
I did okay.
Really? Damn.
Yeah, I didn't knock that stage out of the park. But at 50, I remember my target at 50 yards because as we were walking from 50 to 25, Nils asked me, he's like, how'd that feel? I said, well, three shots felt great and 3 shots felt not good.
Yeah.
And so we got down on the target and I had 3 shots in like dead center in the A, like a 3-inch group. And those were the only 3 shots on targets. So it was okay, which I feel like at 50 yards, it's a 5.7 second par time. So you get the buzzer. So it's 6 seconds, but it's a hard 6.00 cutoff. is what it is. And so I feel like is it the Mendoza line in baseball that's like, as far as batting average, I think it's the Mendoza line that it's basically like if you're below the Mendoza line, then that's like you're below replacement level. Like they could call up almost anybody and they would be able to
Mm.
hit above that. Or if you're above it, then you're at least above like the replacements. So I feel like 15 points at 50 yards is kind of the Mendoza line. Like you're not going to win the stage with that, but if you get 15 points, like you didn't just wreck your match. You're not going to wreck your match anyway, but like you're okay if you get 15 points. At least that's kind of the number that for me at 50 yards, that if I get over 15 points, then it's like, okay, like this, it's okay at that point.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
It's going to be fun. Have you ever been there before?
No, I haven't.
Like it's just a different world. Like that, like the range, the Rio Salado, like it's just a different world. You've never been like the Phoenix area either, dude. Like the drive once you get over into that part of the world is really really cool. There may be some terrain that actually surprises you, and the saguaro cactuses and stuff are just like it's really cool and it's really unique to that part of the world. So it's gonna be a fun match. We need to find a place to stay. That's somewhat important. We don't have a place to stay yet, but we'll figure it out. Won't be a problem. Phoenix is a big town.
Okay. Well, it'll be fun. That's in, as of right now, 2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks. It's like 10 days
Yeah.
or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be good. You're driving, right?
Yeah, let's go.
You're gonna pick me up. We're gonna take the Ford. Can the
Yeah.
Ford make it?
Heck yeah.
Oh, sweet. I'm gonna
Heck
be a
yeah.
passenger princess this time.
The fuel gauge doesn't work, so we got to keep an eye on that, but it'll make
Oh,
it.
we can throw an extra gas can in the back. It'll be all right.
Yeah. I just usually fill up every 300 miles.
I don't think I've ever been with you on a road trip where you've made it 300 miles where you were like, I gotta stop.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I don't like to go 300 miles, okay? I mean, that's a bit much. It's like
Look,
probably like every 100 miles, it's like, let's stop and stretch the legs, get a drink.
that sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's enjoy the trip at least.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll have to figure out how we're going to break it up because it's a long drive for you. I mean, it's a long drive from Canyon, but it's going to be even longer for you to get out there. So
Mhm.
we'll have to figure out how we're gonna have to
Oh,
drive part way on Thursday.
yeah.
Hey, you
Yeah.
could get here. You could come to Canyon. You come to Canyon Thursday morning, and we could
Mhm.
go shoot. We can go down and practice for a couple hundred rounds, and then we can
Mhm.
drive, that afternoon.
Okay. Let's do
Get your
it.
50, and then when your gun breaks while we're practicing, I'll fix it, and
I'll drive and you can fix it in the car.
there we go. I got a battery powered Dremel, and I'll fix it in the car. Easy peasy. Easy
Okay.
peasy.
Yeah, it'll be a good trip. I haven't haven't had a getaway with the boys in a while, so it'd be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be it is gonna be a fun match. I'm looking forward to. I've never squatted with Potato before. We have an absolute killer squad for that match. So that's gonna be good. It'll be fun shooting with Potato. He has been shooting. Even though he's in
Mhm.
Maine and it's snows and freaking cold, he doesn't care. He just gets out and shoots in it. So
Yeah.
8% might be tricky. Might be a tricky one for you. We will see.
Yeah, I'm glad we're squatted together. That's
Yeah,
good. That's gonna make it good.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
tracking y'all's. I'm gonna be tracking y'all scores the whole. Like make sure. I mean, Potato will know, but I'm gonna make sure you know.
Do you think I could get in his head? Do you think it's possible to get into Potato's head?
I mean, it sounds worth the try.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it
it's
sounds
always
like a
worth a
fun
try.
effort. Um, you know, I think it might be possible because Potato's one of those dudes that's like he's really really smart. I mean, people know
Hmm.
this, but like he's really freaking smart. And sometimes people who are that smart, like they kind of can't help but start to overthink some things.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't totally know if that's him, but maybe
Mm.
we can try it. I don't know who's if I want to get into his head or your head more. I don't
Mm.
know. I just want to get in both of y'all's heads. That's gonna be my goal. I'm gonna see if I can just get both of you guys to be
Yeah.
going nuts. Yeah.
Well, I am not very smart, so I did not overthink shit.
I did not say that. I did not say that at all. You're very smart, Jeff. One of the smartest guys I know.
uh, it should be good. We'll see how it goes. That 8%. I can't at this point. Like, yeah, 2 months ago for sure. Yeah, I would be pretty damn confident.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm like, I feel like like. I don't know if there's anybody I could beat by 8% right now. Like I don't know. I just like having not picked up a gun in so long. I have zero confidence like in what I can do with a pistol right now. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know what I can do with a pistol right now.
I've shot enough to know that I can't do much.
Yeah.
that's that's what I know. I'm not somebody that can not practice and still shoot well. I know my buddy Bob Crow, who we're squatted with, hasn't shot since IPSC Nationals either.
Okay.
Hasn't
Good.
hasn't
Good.
has he hasn't touched a gun since then. So he's in that exact same boat. I
But
would
we
be surprised.
know but we know Bob can shoot having not shot at all. Like
Yeah,
like loading a single stack over and over might be an issue, but
yeah,
like shooting, like we know he can shoot without shooting.
yeah, yeah. So that'll be kind of fascinating
Yeah.
to see where you're at with no training.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for
The only
sure.
the only I have dry fired some, and I actually do plan to dry fire up to this match, but all
Mm-hmm.
my dry fire has been super slow reps, like super deliberate, like nothing at speed. It's just
Mm-hmm.
trying to like groove in
Yeah.
like consistency, like in hitting these positions. Like trying to transition to a little bit more of a scoop draw than I've used in the past because I'm
Yeah.
really slow on the draw. So I'm doing that just like from like a really really slow, and I've liked it. I feel like I've made some progress with that, but again, nothing's at speed. So that's gonna be that'll be interesting to see.
You've been doing a scoop draw not at speed.
Yeah.
Interesting. Hmm.
So trying to just get the muscle memory of exactly where my hand and arm needs to be to get on the gun
Yeah.
in the right spot.
Okay.
Um,
Nice.
don't
Well,
start
maybe
getting interested in training, Jeff.
who knows? Maybe I'll try fire from here till then. Who knows?
Yeah, there we go. I knew if we talked training at all, then Jeff would start. He'd start getting back in. He'd be interested in it again.
Dude, that yeah. I know I've said it on here before. That's how my brain works. It's
Yep.
like if I am not shooting, I will find something else to occupy my mind with,
Yeah.
which makes it a lot harder to come back because now I
Yeah.
have to shut that down and turn this back on. Yeah. So,
Yeah. I get that. For sure. Eh, yeah. So maybe I'll start posting in the training group about my dry fire and I'll tag Jeff in it, and that'll make him wanna dry fire
maybe I'll just try fire live until Western States.
live.
Yeah, I'll just try fire live at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, do it.
Uh,
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. I'm sorry if this was a downer of a podcast, especially for first one of the year to come back to, but that's just what's happening in USPSA. I can't follow it all, like all of it. So if I got stuff wrong, you guys can write and correct me and tell me I got it wrong. I'm not going to get super upset on that. And if you disagree with me, you can write in and tell me that I'm wrong. And we may yell at each other until we're both wrong, but that's fine too. Like you can do that. I'm not above that. So,
we did have a shout out from the Discord.
yeah, I saw that.
Shout out. This is from Donovan Triplet. Shout out to BAF Custom Guns and J Headland Shooting for building me badass blasters that let me concentrate on the shooting at a match and not worrying about if my gun is going to run, and also for just being a damn good dude and mentor. You keep this old guy pushing. Thanks. Damn, it's so positive.
That was a great shot. That was probably the best part of this whole podcast.
Yeah, you should try some of that, Jeremy. Try some of that positivity on.
I said something positive about you today. I don't know what it was, but I said something positive.
I don't remember. Must have not been that impactful.
No, apparently not. See, I'm a nice guy. Jeff just doesn't pay attention. He just lets it run out his ear. Oh, other thing, if anybody gets to this, if anybody wants to buy a 1050 with a ammo bot Rev 3, then I think I'm gonna sell one of my machines. So
just getting out of the sport. Just fed up with it.
No, I kind of want to get into the Mark 7 game with their 10 station press.
How much you want for it?
I'm not totally sure, but like I'm thinking like 1,500 to 2,000, which I think a new 1050 by itself is like 2,400 nowadays. So yeah, somewhere in that range, and I'd let it go for that.
I got anything that you want? You trade for?
I mean, you got a crack house.
Mm-hmm.
We could work out a trade with that.
Can you get like 20 free nights?
Some people have this thing it's called cash. So if you got some of that, I'd make that trade. That'd be a trade I'd make.
Yeah.
How much are your crypto mines making? I mean,
yeah, I probably got some new crypto miners right here. These two bad boys sitting right behind me.
Yeah.
A couple of ASICs.
Are they killing it?
Yeah, from my crypto dogs out there. These are Caspa miners. Caspa ASICs. Each doing 200 gigahash, I think. Yeah.
What's a gigahash?
Yeah, 200.
Is that drugs?
I'm doing 400 gigahash on Caspa with these two ASICs. It's pretty cool.
So what's the return on that? $10 a week?
It's actually more than that. Those are the most profitable miners I have right now.
Wow. And they're keeping your house warm?
They're like barely warm. It's like if your hands are cold, you could go like put your hands on them and that'd be pretty warm. I should have put them in the garage, but I wanted to plug them into my router in here. Let me see. Hold on. I know we're off in the weeds, but we don't ever talk about crypto, so.
Oh no, that's fine. I think I'm gonna be getting a 3D printer soon. I think.
Hell yeah. Okay, so these have been turned on for I think 2 months on the 19th of this month.
Okay.
So
Okay.
a week from today, it'll have been 2 full months. And as of right now, they have made about $265 worth of Caspa.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're
And
actually profitable. Nothing else I have is profitable, like all
what
my graphics cards at mine and stuff.
what did those things cost?
They were I think they were like 450 a piece.
That's it?
Yeah,
And you've made 25% back in 2 months?
yeah,
So
yeah.
then in 8 months it should cover it.
Yeah, but that's the thing about crypto is like you don't really know like the hash rate on that algorithm's going to go way up and they'll become less profitable. So you just kind of hope that you get a bunch of price appreciation at the same time.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So it's like it's a gamble, but we're in it for the long haul. We're just bag holding everything. I don't sell any crypto, so
Oh, really?
yeah, just bag hold it. If it goes to zero, okay. If it goes to the moon, hell yeah.
Heck yeah. Then you can start buying guns from me. Oh, here's another thing. I am not taking any more commissions on builds, so I'm just going to be building
Mm.
spec guns in the future. So I will have guns available to buy in the future is the plan.
Mm-hmm.
And 1911s and 2011s. So
Mm.
gonna have both of those available in the future.
Okay.
Hopefully some uh, more reasonably priced options. Again, not like they're not going to be cheap. They're not going to be Dan Weston price, but some not $12,000, not $10,000 options.
Okay.
Uh, so if anybody actually gets to this point in the video, that is the plan going forward. I'm going to have some of those available.
If crypto absolutely shreds in
Yeah,
2025,
yeah.
I might buy some guns from you.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be
My
cool.
plan is to make so that the Springfield that I rebuilt last year, that 9mm, basically like that exact same gun. I'm going to try to offer that as
Mm.
just as like a standard offering. Obviously, I'll only be able to make so many per year,
Yeah.
but that's kind of like I love that setup. I love it functionally. I love it aesthetically, and so I'm gonna make that not on a Springfield frame, on a different aftermarket frame, but I'm gonna make
Oh,
that
okay.
setup and try to offer that as a just kind of as a standard offering. So probably like mine is Cerakoted. I'll probably DLC it because I don't want to be refinishing. I don't want to be painting guns.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I hate finishing guns, so I'll probably have that DLC'd. Maybe blued. Blue's a great finish too. Um,
Yeah. That'd be cool. I'd probably prefer either of those finishes to Cerakote. I'm not a huge fan of Cerakote.
uh, I I love Cerakote. It's from a corrosion resistance. Like it's one of the
Mm-hmm.
best. It's one of the best ones out there. I actually like it when it gets wear on it. Like I think it can look really cool with wear. Um, so I am a fan of Cerakote, but I do understand that it gives you a certain aesthetic to a gun that some people are gonna very much prefer like a blued or a DLC look to it.
What about
Um,
like a stainless be blasted finish?
yeah, so yeah, that will definitely be an option too. A lot of these frame and slide manufacturers, they're making they just they want to make carbon. Like a lot of builders want to build on carbon guns. They don't want to build stainless guns. You
Mm-hmm.
do run in. I mean, stainless will gall. Even the modern stainless, people will say the modern stainless won't gall. Even modern stainless will gall. And so you just have to be a little careful, like when you're fitting it,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe not fit it quite as tight as you would a carbon gun, which I don't care. But I'm actually what I am looking at doing more of is doing some like two-tone guns. So get a stainless slide, stainless top end, and then put that on a black carbon steel bottom. Which I think two-tone guns. I haven't done a ton of them, but I
Mm-hmm.
like them. I think they look pretty good. Um,
Yeah. I kind of like my guns are stainless,
mhm.
and I kind of like it. Like I don't think I want to shoot anything else.
Oh,
I really I like them.
yeah, I love stainless. I mean, for me personally, I prefer to build on stainless guns. Like if somebody's getting a Jeremy Reid gun, like the most classic of Jeremy Reid guns,
Mm-hmm.
it would be a stainless gun.
Mm.
Um, because yeah, the finish upkeep on it, there is no upkeep. You don't have to. You can't just leave it in water. You can't leave it wet.
Mm-hmm.
Then you could still get kind of some discoloration in the steel, but yeah, like it just the maintenance is nothing on it. You don't have to maintain it. If you wanted to, you could reblast it, re-bead blast it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Plus
I'm a big fan of
they just
stainless.
look yeah, they just look sexy. It's
Yeah,
stainless.
yeah,
Stainless and like black, grips. It's a good look.
yeah. I don't disagree at all. All the guys coming to the class will be building stainless guns. So
Really?
yeah,
That's
yeah, because we
cool.
don't we can't really deal with finishes and that sort of stuff. So yeah, we build stainless guns in class.
I
Um,
like that.
so yeah, I'm a fan of stainless too.
So are you gonna build a gun during the class?
No,
Oh.
no, it's all just trying to get everybody else's guns. So like how we do it is like every process we will demo it on somebody's gun, and you kind of take turns around
Mm-hmm.
who gets the demo on that. And usually the demo doesn't complete the process whenever we're doing that. Um, it just usually it gets people started, kind of showing it. So we're doing that. There are some people that teach classes and they build a gun while they're doing it, but there's no way I can be going around and paying attention to everybody's gun as they're building it and me trying to build a gun at the same time. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just not a realistic option for that at that point.
Right. Hmm.
So yeah,
Well, sounds fun.
it should be. It's gonna be a lot of work, but yeah, it should be fun. Hopefully, hopefully it'll go well enough that I can have more classes in the future. So that
I'm
is the plan.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will.
We will see. We'll see if Mike Dixon can. We'll see how he might run me off, man. He might run me off. We'll find out.
Building custom guns just put you out of business.
He might. He might.
He might. Better watch your back.
Are we sponsored by Shooters Connection on this one? I should have asked that beforehand. It's been a long time since we've done one, so I wasn't sure if they were still.
I have not communicated with them.
Well, if this is sponsored by Shooters Connection, thank you to Shooters Connection for sponsoring it. If they're
Yeah.
not, hey, go buy stuff from them anyway.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have everything you need, and so I have no problem plugging them anyway. They have all the stuff you need. It looks like John Vlieger is back working for them again.
Oh, okay.
He was at Mark 7. I think he's still doing some. Sounds like maybe helping with like warranty consultation and maybe some stuff like that, like with Mark 7, but maybe more contract stuff with Mark 7.
Hmm.
But he's now back working with Shooters Connection again, which he had worked for them in the past. I don't know exactly what he does for them, but I know he works for them. So yeah, they got a lot of people that compete, and obviously with John there, world class shooter. So
Mm-hmm.
if you need anything for the season, go to Shooters Connection. I'm sure they will have what you need, and they'll ship it really fast too.
Yeah. Yeah. Regardless of if they sponsored this episode, they they've been a great partner, and they're a great supporter of the industry, which we're still promoting, regardless of current events. So
Great
support shooters.
enthusiasm.
Support Shooters Connection, even if you're not going to support USPSA. There you go.
So much enthusiasm. All right, thank you guys for listening, and I hope y'all seasons get started and things get better, and everybody's excited to shoot, because it's always better if more people are shooting and having fun.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.